In today's video, I want to talk about fonts, and specifically fonts that can be used for writing with the ScanNCut, so using the pen tool. So the standard pen tool, or if you've got the universal pen tool, pens that you can use with the pen tool for the ScanNCut. Now, I just want to explain very briefly about what to look for to get the best result when using your pen tools. So if I just zoom in, this happy birthday has been written in ScanNCut Canvas using this first font here that's on the top left, Antique Oakland Bold. And basically any of the fonts that are in Canvas, any of the fonts that you have on your computer, or any of the fonts that you download from the internet, will basically, when you use them with a pen in the ScanNCut, what you will get is what you see here. So imagine this was a black pen and you got the ScanNCut to write it rather than cut it. This is the result that you will get. So the pen will follow the outside line of all these letters, and the bits in the middle that are white will be the colour of the card that you write them on. So in other words, they'll be hollow, not filled in. So if you want to write with your ScanNCut with the pens, you need to look for fonts really that are known as single stroke fonts, or alternatively handwriting fonts. Now I'm just going to go to Google, and I've done a quick search, an images search of single stroke fonts. I'm not sure if you can see that up here at the top. And basically single stroke fonts are what they say. So something like this. This is a single line as opposed to a traditional font that would be like this. Now I'll leave you to go and do your own internet searches and decide whether you want to go and buy or download any of these types of fonts and try and use them. But for now, the alternative is if we go to handwriting fonts, which you can get a similar result with. So really, the end result is determined by what you start off with. Now, a place where I normally get my fonts, and I've used this site for years and years and years and never had any problems, is www.dafont.com. You can see the name also here in big letters. If you come over here to the script section and scroll down to handwritten, this will then bring up pages and pages and pages of handwriting type fonts. As you can see, it's getting up to 174 pages or more. Now, if you want to write a particular greeting, let's say, on a card, if you come to the preview window and in here type what you're looking to have your ScanNCut write for you. So I'll type happy birthday. You can leave everything else as it is and then click submit. What this will now do, this will now show you all these fonts in your chosen words, and it will help you decide if you like the font and will give you an indication of how it may possibly write with a pen using the ScanNCut. So once you've chosen your font, then obviously you need to download and install it. So I'm just going to scroll through. I'm going to choose this one. It's called September Mornings, and I'm going to download it. Once I've downloaded it, I'm going to install it, and then I'm going to open Inkscape and show you how to use it and how to be able to put it in the machine to have the pen write it. I've now downloaded and installed the September Mornings font, and one thing I would say, you need to install the font before you open the program that you're going to use, in this case Inkscape. So now I'm going to come to the text tool and I'm going to type happy birthday. And I'm going to click the select icon, which selects the word. Then I'm going to come back to the font to bring up the fonts box, And I found since I updated to this latest stable version of Inkscape that I have to sometimes do this process twice. So I'm going to click on this little down arrow, and it will only bring so many fonts up. So I then have to click it again to get rid of it, and then click it again, and this time it will bring all the fonts up that are installed on my computer. So I'm now looking for the September morning, and it's there. And now I've selected that, it's changed my happy birthday to that font, but you can't see it because it's quite small. So I'm going to select it, and I'm going to zoom in. And that's the happy birthday. Now, while it's selected, if you look up here, I'm in inches, you can see that this is about just under 1/4 of an inch high. I'm going to make it 1/2 an inch high, and the only reason I'm doing that is because the happy birthday that I showed you before in Canvas is 1/2 an inch high, and I want to try and give you a comparison. So I'm going to lock the lock so that this adjusts in proportion, and I'm going to make this 1/2 an inch high. Okay. Now, because it's a font, to be able to bring this into ScanNCut Canvas, while it's selected, we need to go Path Union, and that now tells you it's a path down here. I'm going to go to File, Save As. Another thing I found since I updated is that by default, Inkscape saves as an Inkscape SVG, but if I save files using that format now, they're not always opening in Canvas, so I have to save them as a plain SVG. So I'm just going to leave the default name as drawing.svg, put it on my desktop and save it as a plain SVG. I'm going to just minimise that down out of the way now. So I'm back still in Canvas, and as you can see, this is the happy birthday that I chose using this font up here, and you can see it's 1/2 an inch high. I'm now going to go to the SVG icon and go to my desktop and find that file and hopefully open it in Canvas. Okay, and there's the handwritten font. I'll just zoom in a little bit more so you can see. Okay, now it looks a bit wobbly, and I think that's probably maybe how the pen will follow it. So as I say, basically you've got to choose your font wisely. But what I'm going to do, I'm going to download both of these fonts now as they are, and I'm going to write them with a black pen on the ScanNCut machine and show you the results. Okay, so I'm not sure whether you can see this clearly or not, but basically I downloaded that FCM file and I've asked the ScanNCut to draw those two words for me. I'm going to try and zoom in because I'm doing this on a handheld camera. But you can see the top one is virtually like it would be handwritten with a pen now, and the bottom one has followed the outside of the line. So this is what I'm saying, you have to choose your fonts wisely. Obviously things may get a little better with the new universal pen tool because you'll be using different pens in there, but with your standard ScanNCut pens, this is the result you can get just by choosing a handwriting font. I hope you found that helpful. Please like, share and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video. Thank you.